This week we're going to work on my 91 Mustang Coupe. If you're not familiar with this car, we built this on an episode of Faster with Newbern Cotton last year and raced my buddy Lyle Barnett in a car called Beer Money. And he smoked my ass. And this car is not that slow. It's got a 5.3 LS. I know, I get hate for it all the time, but I don't care. It's got an F1A 94 Pro Charger bolted to it. It made 404 horsepower to the tire, and it went 7.0 to the 8th, which is not too bad. His car is just that fast. It looked bad on camera.
That was nuts, dog. Dave, you got this. You got this, Dave, right? Say yeah.
Since that episode, I've put a big blower camshaft in it, head studs, head gaskets, I've upgraded the rocker arms, and I've changed out the rear axle because it had a 8.8 with a 373 gear. It now has a Ford 9-inch from Quick Performance with a 456 gear. That's a big change in the gears alone. So it should do way better than a 7.0 after we get it dyno tuned, which is tomorrow evening. And there's still a lot left to do to this car before I can even take it. So I need to put a dash in it because I have no idea if the car's running hot, if it has oil pressure. So my Holly dash finally came in and it fits the stock cluster for the Mustang. So I get to put all that stuff back in it. It'll look much better. And I have a badass dash. And then Wednesday, which is in 3 days, Finnegan is going to Steel to race Blasphemy and the Rubber Duck Firebird. He's invited me to come, so I was like, dude, perfect opportunity to test the Mustang because I want to take this car on drag week, so I need to get as much testing in as I can. So dyno tomorrow, racing on Wednesday. Let's see if we can make it happen. First things first, I'm going to go ahead and take the booster and the master cylinder off while I can get to the bolts on the inside of the car before I put the dash back in. I'm going to delete the booster for 2 reasons. One, this motor doesn't make any vacuum for that to even function correctly, and it'll only get worse when I put the bigger motor in it. 2, I can't get the heads off with all of that on there. It's a pain in the butt, especially with head studs. So all of that has to come off in order for the head to come off on the driver's side. So I'm going to fix that because if I'm on race week, I do not want to have to go through the trouble of pulling all that apart and re-bleeding the brakes if I need to put a head gasket on it. So that's going away. My buddy Nick Taylor made me an adapter plate for this car that will eliminate the booster. This will bolt in that spot and then accept the master cylinder right here to get rid of it. Nicky Bobby Inc. is where I got this. Super cool dude. He makes all kind of stuff. He fabs everything in-house. Check it out. But I'm really excited to get that put on, free up some space right here, and actually have functioning brakes because something here is busted and it keeps leaking and I keep having to dump fluid in it to have brakes. So it's gonna fix 2 problems. Okay, I got the booster delete adapter plate mounted to the firewall, and I used the master cylinder from the Mustang on the plate. It's not meant for it. I had to bore the hole out in the center just a little bit to make it work. It's because I'm on a time crunch. I got to leave here in 2 hours for the dyno, and I still have to get this car up, bleed the brakes, change the rear tires, do a nut and bolt check, and raise the back of the car up just a little bit because it's too low. It's hitting the fenders. So I didn't have time to go to Summit and get the strange master cylinder that is required with that adapter plate. I just modified it just a little bit. Sorry, Nick. But hey, it works. It works perfect. Here's our dash. This is Holly's Pro Dash. It's a 6.86 inch screen. And I have a bezel that fits the stock dash of the Mustang that will accept the Holly dash, which is right here. So, just go try it out. So that'll go just like that. There's all the electronics. There's a Holly HP. That's the engine management. And that whole thing swivels. On the very bottom of that is all the fuses and relays, and it's got a Zeus clip against the firewall. Spin it, that whole thing swings down, and you can gain access to everything. Oh, that's pretty sweet. And Larabelle Race Cars did a phenomenal job on the cage. And I need to paint it because it's starting to rust. But the welds, the bends, like, this cage is super, super nice. So, and the way he tied the rockers together with these plates, the rocker bar goes across, ties in, you can't really see it now, but it ties into the tunnel to each side, and then the main hoop ties in to that one. So, very, very, very nice. So this just swings on a hinge. We got ignition, we got relays for the trans brake and the fuel pump and stuff. It's got 2 fuel pumps in there. The second one comes on when it sees boost. And then you got fused battery outputs, and you got ground strips. You've got everything you need. Then when you're done messing with it, it just folds up. Zeus clips up there. There we go. So I got air fuel ratios, oil pressure, battery, fuel pressure, water, boost, timing. Then I added manifold air temperature and pedal position. So then in the center will be RPM, which we can go ahead and try right now. I mounted it right there so I can look right through the steering wheel and have a clear shot of everything. And yes, this is a GM steering wheel. It doesn't quite fit the look of the car, but this is out of my 57 when I changed and put the green one in there. So I have another one. It's right there. I might swap it out. I don't know. Okay, the weather has turned to absolute crap. We're going to the track tomorrow. Supposedly, all this rain is supposed to stop. The car's, I think, ready for the dyno. We're on the way there right now, me in the car. And I got the tires put on it, got the back raised up a little bit, got our Holly dash installed. In theory, it should be ready, but for some reason, every time I go to the dyno, it never fails. Something is wrong. Always.
What's that? The fucking noise with the more straps on it.
What was that?
It's gonna be something.
maybe like 350.
474, 408. Still going.
Wednesday morning, Mustang is loaded up. We're gonna head to the track right now and meet up with Finnegan and see what the Mustang will do in the 1/8 of a mile. It made 505 horsepower to the tire yesterday on the dyno. Jeff was a little afraid to take it any further than that because it's got stock ring gap in it. So we didn't want to risk tearing the car up and not being able to race today. So, rubber ducks here.
Rubber ducks here.
What's your goal for today?
Today the goal is to go 8s. I don't care if it's an 899. But the last time you and I were here, we went 904, which is the exact same ET you and I ran in 2021 at Rocky Mountain Racing.
Yeah.
904.
Back to back, like 3 or 4 times in a row.
Yeah.
So.
And we didn't have enough fuel system that time. We do now.
Yeah.
And we have a better suspension. It should do it.
I just want to go 650s to the 8th and then maybe a little wheelie. And then I'll be totally happy.
Oh, a wheelie would be cool.
Yeah.
I didn't even think about the wheelie. I was so focused on an 8. A wheelie would be great.
Yeah. Both cars doing wheelies.
Yeah.
Even if it's just, an inch.
All right, counts.
That's fine. Yeah, it's fine.
Counts. Totally counts.
I like these goals.
Good luck.
You got something dripping.
Really?
Yeah. Oil or no? Oh, transmission fluid.
Great. A little tidy.
I'm not seeing anything.
Well, that didn't go as planned. Did a good burnout. Got it to the line. He stopped me immediately because we have fluid dripping out from under the car. Turns out the master cylinder is leaking. So I got to fix that before I can even make a pass. we're gonna take the Mustang up the road. We gotta run some errands. This will be its final trip with that little 5.3. We went to the track yesterday. It went 7.1 at 102 miles an hour 6 times. It's very consistent. It was actually slower than it was before. We have the wrong converter in the car. It was an absolute dog off the line. So we have some changes to make, but I'm not even gonna worry about it. We're gonna go ahead, swap it out for the big dog that Pete Harrell made that'll make triple the power that was in there right now. So we're not playing around anymore. We're gonna send this one off. We're not gonna send it off. I'm not gonna tear it up because I'm gonna put this engine in my 55. And we're gonna put Pete's Beer Money Special in the Fox body and really turn it up. So we're gonna make one last trip in it. We're gonna go to the grocery store with it and then pull it out. Ready? Yeah. All right.